Alright, we have to talk about it. Is living on the road scary? Not often are we asked this question from friends and people we meet out on the road, but it definitely comes up from time to time, and for good reason, right? My name is Trey, and my fiance and I have been living on the road in unfamiliar places for the past 9 months. And it definitely can put you in uncomfortable situations. So let's talk about it. In our opinion, why living on the road isn't all that scary. We just landed down here in Swan Valley last week after a beautiful 4-day trip from Washington, which involved a little place called Yellowstone that you may want to check out after this one. And today we decided to go check out the beautiful Grand Teton National Park, which we have seen plenty of pictures online of this beautiful mountain range, but somehow we're still unsure of what to expect on this hike besides beautiful views. Staying in Idaho for this past week has been beautiful and peaceful, waking up to sunrises like this every single morning. And shortly after, we passed through the little town of Jackson, Wyoming before it opens up to the first views of the Grand Tetons. And we skipped breakfast at home this morning, so a little pit stop. So Jess and I just switched to a pescatarian diet, and I have to get like a veggie sandwich, just avocado and some olives. And she got a bagel with cream cheese. That's whether Jess is pescatarian or not, that's her go-to breakfast. And a little brownie, so it's been interesting. It's only been what, a couple of days?
And he's already struggling.
Yes, breakfast is like, where you get your meats at, so. Alright, so. The roads that take you into the park just give you absolutely stunning front range views of the Tetons. And I see why there are so many photos of this place. Also, we looked up and picked one of the best days to hike as well. Nearly a 0% chance of rain. A few days before this hike, we did some research and turns out we're in grizzly country, which we immediately grabbed bear spray for the first time in our lives. A little more expensive than I thought it was going to be. And like the complete novices we are, we held a joint practice session in the parking lot, which the guys across the street from us made fun of us for. We're ready. We practiced our little stance and we're good to go. You feel ready?
Ready.
So, is living in an RV, traveling around the country, all that scary? To answer that question, there's a few areas we think are important and relevant enough to shed some light on. I would start with campgrounds, where you might be spending a good deal of time at if you're planning on working on the road. Jess and I, so far, have only been to one campground, which was in Northern California, that we felt a little uncomfortable at. But for the most part, I would say for all of the campgrounds, or at least 99% of them, we have felt very much safe and comfortable. The Grand Tetons is beautiful. This is an absolute gorgeous trail. How do you think, Jess?
Beautiful. Good.
That's right. I told her to say that, by the way. And campgrounds are sort of like Airbnbs and hotels. You need to read up on the reviews, what they offer, and search around a bit. We have learned that not all campgrounds are created equal, and the more research you do, the better off you're going to be. So we're going down in there. I think we're going to go to the valley somehow. Look at all this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Jess, have I converted you to a Grand Teton fan? Alright, so rank your 3 top national parks. We'll see if it comes in somewhere in there. Zion, number 1. Olympic? And the Grand Tetons. Okay. What? Okay, that's fair. Yosemite didn't make the list. Another thing that worried me when we first started was having an accident on the road or flipping over the rig. After all, there are a few videos over on Instagram of some RVs flipping over in high wind conditions. Or just even bumping the RV into a gas station awning. That was really high up there on my list. But the only accident we've had so far this year is jackknifing the RV against the truck, busting the back glass out of it. Which also happened to take place in California, and I think we're starting to notice a trend here. Also, knowing the height of your RV will go a long ways in accident prevention. But now, after 10 months, the only thing that really worries me is a blowout on one of the tires. Even though all the mechanics tell me not to worry about the tires until about year 2, No, really, I have called several shops to ask when I should get them replaced. I just know it's gonna happen at some point, but most RVs come with a spare, so at least have that in the back of your mind. You'll have to come out here and visit yourself, for sure. This trail is called the Lake Solitude Trail, which is a little over a 16-mile out and back, which makes for one ass-kicking day trip. But for the most part, it's relatively flat with only about 2,600 feet of elevation gain. But if you come out here, make sure to get up early and take your time, as this is a trail that you do not want to rush through. What you got there?
Some toasted coconut marshmallows.
All right, let's see one. See what you got. So far, the hike is beautiful, and we've made it to our turnaround spot. So we're not gonna hike too much further out, away from the car, down trail. We're gonna start turning around and going back, but relax for a little bit. That's what we're gonna do. We're good at that. We're good at relaxing and taking it easy and enjoying the view.
I mean, after 7 miles, yeah, I'm gonna relax for a little bit.
Yeah, eat a little something. But I mean, this reminds me of the Dolomites, the time we went to Italy. This is just it's just very reminiscent of it. It's very beautiful. Another area of concern that you may have is how you're gonna make friends on the road, because being a nomad, you're just passing through a lot of towns. And for us, when we first got started, we didn't have a lot of connections as far as other RVers out there. I mean, we follow a few now, and we've met a few along the way, but when we first got started out, it was just taking the time to meet people, greet people where they're at, and especially at campgrounds, that's gonna be your best spot to go and meet people at. But what about you?
Yeah, I mean, we've met a good bit of people along the way, even in national parks, and a few new friends that we've been able to connect with over social media, and we've just kind of been able to keep in touch there. It's nice to know that maybe next year, whenever we're in their hometown, we could just connect again and meet out.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to next year, because I think we're gonna slow down just a tiny bit. And one of the last things I'll talk about, and only a few of you guys are gonna go through this, and it's just dealing with friends and family negativity while getting prepared for the whole RV journey. I was blessed that my parents on my side didn't really care one way or another what we did. Sometimes that's a blessing and a curse, but they didn't really care. Oh, good for you that you're doing the RV life. But Jess, you want to touch up on maybe just dealing with a few, not negative, but like some people just aren't going to support you all the way you want to.
It's just concerning. It's just all concern, and it all comes from a place of love. This lifestyle is not very traditional.
Right.
We know that it's something that actually attracted me mainly. I'm not very traditional. Doesn't really appeal to me all that much, but we work remotely and we don't have kids, don't plan to, and we figured, like, why not? We want to travel. It just made the most sense, and it's honestly, it hasn't been easy, but it has gifted us with plenty of absolutely amazing experiences. And I mean, if I could choose it all over again, I would.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things, Jess and I talk about that sometimes here and there, is when we're out on these hikes and it's beautiful, but would we wait until retirement to come do this? And chances probably not. Like, if I had to wait till retirement to do this, and I was 65 or 70, not saying that there aren't people of that age who don't do this, because we definitely see that going on, but me personally, I probably wouldn't be seeing as much as we have right now. I would see a couple of trips. I would go on a couple of trips, but it wouldn't be at the frequency of what we're doing now. So all that to say, while you're young, enjoy your life. Go out and enjoy and have experiences. And while we stopped for lunch, and I must say Jessica picked a great spot, we got to catch up on us. You might think couples who travel together and are with each other 24/7 just spend all their time together, right? But between work, travel weekends, and everything else, we actually don't get to spend as much quality time together as one might would think. So it was nice just to be able to catch up on us. On the way back, the crowd thinned out a ton, and the wildlife took notice, because as we're making our way down, we spot a moose just off trail grazing all by himself. And Jess and I have seen deer elk, but never a moose, especially up this close. I would say moose are very comparable to a horse size-wise, and what a majestic experience to end the trail on. The sun setting over the Tetons has to be one of my favorite parts of the day, and only if we had more time to stay and catch everything. But Jess and I have built quite the appetite, and with our newfound fish-only diet, it's time to head to Jackson to see what's available. So we ended up at this fine dining sushi spot where we spent a little too much and, well, just a little.
Don't come hungry, is all I'm going to say. I am still hungry.
Which I had to take Jess out for some ice cream afterwards to help get over the feeling of
Mint
being
chocolate.
utterly robbed.
And Oreo.
And to top it off, a large fry from the local Dairy Queen. And after an hour of driving back home, we finally make it back and can catch up on some rest. Normally, this is where we would end the story, but in the morning, we found out the RV host has 2 paddle boards for rent and a reservoir just down the road from us. So like anyone else, we decided to pull the trigger and enjoy the last few days of summer on the water.
We got stuck, and yeah, not bad, but it's gonna be interesting trying to get out of here.
Like an angel that fell out of the sky, a nice gentleman with a raptor and a winch, which happened to be the perfect setup for our situation, was willing to give us a helping hand and drag our 10,000-pound truck back to safety.
He is our savior. The only reason we got out of here.
That's right.
And with our lesson learned, we can finally go enjoy the water. Jess and I think about how lucky we are to live this lifestyle and to be able to call virtually anywhere our home for a few weeks. And we both know we have to keep an eye out either on our belongings, for our pups, or for each other. This is true no matter where you're at or what lifestyle you have, but if someone were to ask me if living on the road is dangerous or scary, my answer would be no more than living in an apartment in the city. Everyone we meet are usually super friendly and have tons of stories to tell, and living on the road has given us the freedom to select where we want to stay, and with that freedom, we select spots that are typically very remote. Van lifers and RVers are some of the most laid-back, genuine folks that you'll ever have a chance to meet, and we are all out here with one purpose in mind: seeing as much as we can with our one given life. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this weekend. And next week, we head on down into Utah for a little while as we prepare for a month of fall in Colorado. If you enjoyed this film, consider subscribing as we release a new video every single Sunday. And peace out, much love, and we will see you next week in Utah.